Hello and welcome back to the channel. Henning Pauli here. Today I'm releasing two videos. So this one's going to be a bit shorter and just a thing that I thought was super interesting that I never thought about, that maybe or maybe not you've thought about. We're going to get to that in a bit. The other video is going to be in German. So I would like to know, let my English speaking viewers know, no, you're not missing anything. I have a course coming out on Bernd Kilser's channel called Power Chord Theory. Now, I've had this on my channel as a series of, I think, 15 videos or something a couple years ago, and I took them down, even though people really, really liked them, because I thought this is a good course to actually make money on. And I will film it or re-release it in English together with the course with others. It'll be in a course called Arranging for Electric Guitar, where that's the theory course, and then we're going to talk about sounds and then actually applying it in songs. But my friend Bernd Kilser said, hey, this is good shit. Could you do this in German? So yes, I sat down for a week and recorded my Power Chord Theory course in German. It is a course on fretboard theory, all based on the 158 and a power chord. If you know where an 8 is, you can find a 9. If you know where the 8 is mathematically, where's the 7? Well, below. It's very simple, right? And based on a power chord, we are looking at every chord. We're looking at the caged system, at drop 2 chords, drop 2 and 4 chords. That is actually not correct. Drop 2 chords and drop 3 chords. We're looking at sus chords, the caged system. We're looking at arpeggios, anything chord related. So inversions of triads all over the fretboard, so that at the end of the course, you know chords without having to open one of those stupid ass big books that has every chord in it in the world. Those books are stupid. You don't learn anything from them. I'll teach you the theory and how to apply it of chords all over the fretboard, so that you will be able to name a chord that someone's playing. You'll be able to play a chord that you want to play because it's in a book, or because, what if I do this? That's actually kind of cool. Understanding is always better than mimicking something that's in a book and you don't get anything. So that's what the course is about, in case you were wondering. And if you are capable of the German language, watch my other video where I talk about the course. That's also coming out today. But today we're going to talk very quickly about breakdown of shared reality. Now, that's just a societal thing, has really nothing to do with guitar, but I'm going to relate it to guitar a little bit. What does it mean? I saw an Instagram clip of, I think her name, let me read this, I really like her, is Priyanka? Is that the word? Where's her name? Priyanka Chopra Jonas, because she married one of the Jonas brothers. So Priyanka Chopra Jonas. She was on Quantico and a couple of other shows and movies. She's an Indian actress in the United States, and she's good. I really like her. And I've seen some interviews. She's a very intelligent woman. And, maybe these things shouldn't come from actors. Maybe we should just get them ourselves, or maybe they should come from... These wisdoms should maybe come from other people. But no, it came from her. And she said in an interview, well, two things that I saw her say. The other one is, let's go to the other one really quickly. She said, she was reading a script or whatever, and she said, now scripts are written, get this, they're tested with focus groups to see if you can follow the storyline while surfing the internet or Instagram or Amazon or whatever on your phone. She said now shows are being dumbed down in a way so that you have to understand the plot line. So in the plot line, she says, we have to now read things that are so obvious and we have to repeat them so that people not paying attention because they're on their fucking phones have to follow along. This is the dumbing down of society, and being 50 fucking years old, that's annoying. Yes, there are still intelligent shows, but shows deliberately being dumbed down so you can follow along while you're on your phone, get on your fucking phone. So that's something she said, and she was appalled by it, rightfully so. But the other thing she said is, when we fight online, and this is where it definitely also relates to the guitar industry. We don't fight about the same thing. Now, back in the day when I was a wee little boy, there were the news, which is something that it means something very different today. And the news happened at 7:45. 2015, there was 15 minutes of news. I was a kid, I didn't want to watch the news, but my dad watched the news. So at 8, at 8, the news were there for 15 minutes, and then the movie started at 20:15. So, or the show or whatever we were watching. So the news were at 8, 15 minutes. And back in the day, 80s, 90s, they reported the news as best they could. They were still reporters. They were not often there. They looked at the data as best as they could, to the best of their ability and knowledge, and reported on the information that they had. That was it. There was pretty much no value given to it, no judgment, no sides. And when the next day people went to work, or we went to school, we discussed the news, but we all had the same information. The information that the official news on German television had given us. We talked about the same thing. And today, we have a breakdown of shared reality, which is something that Tristan Harris, who I send you to in the Diary of a CEO podcast, he was also on The Daily Show having a very, very eye-opening discussion with Jon Stewart, like really eye-opening. But he talked about the breakdown of shared reality, and Priyanka said, we all discuss things, but we don't have the same information. We don't talk about the same fucking things. And that's why we so quickly get angry at each other. So let's take one of the most heated topics. You've got a left-wing dude in the US and someone from MAGA. Well, the MAGA guy gets his news from right-wing news organizations. And whatever the information is, that is biased, one-sided information. And the left-wing guy gets his news from a different news organization or websites. And then they want to discuss the same topic. Trump said this, whatever. But they're actually not talking about the same information they got. Both their information was twisted, skewed. It wasn't the same info, right? They didn't watch the same data. And they will either completely pass each other in what they're talking about. Yeah, but he said this, but it was all just played to the sides in a way that they would think about it in a certain way. And even worse, of course, when we talk about social media. We don't watch the same social media. We don't get the same posts. Every single one of us gets a curated feed. My world is very different. My world has a lot of guitars and a little bit of political things from guitar people, actually. Leslie's Instagram and Facebook is all dogs and cats and cuteness. She doesn't get anything political because she's never clicked on it, so she doesn't get it. She lives in a completely different bubble than I do. When we fight so hard online, we actually talk about different things, completely different bubbles and backgrounds. But when you argue about something, you really have to argue about the same thing, which we're not doing. Our realities are not shared anymore. We don't sit down at 8 o'clock every night and watch the same news outlet. We don't. Everyone's bubble is so personalized that we just are losing the ability to communicate with each other as human beings on a civil level. And in the guitar bubble, let's go there for a second. The guitar bubble, there's the Helix group. lovely people in there, many lovely people. But they can also be very militant. My Helix is the best. Helix is super cool because thousands of people in the Line 6 Helix support group on Facebook are building each other up that Helix is the best. And they're telling each other, our thing is the best. Just like the Fractal group, equally or maybe even more proud of their product and militant, is going to say, no, the Fractal is absolutely the best. We don't need a touchscreen, and it's easy to operate, and it definitely sounds the very, very best in the world. Yeah, but no, Tonex sounds the best. Who's in all the groups? Now, I personally use an XFX3. The new Helix is on the way. I have an old Helix. I've got a Quad Cortex, brand new one, sitting in a box right there. I have a Tonemaster Pro. I have a Headrush coming for the new update. And I use all of them to review and tell you what I think about them, but I don't use a single one of them hardcore, right? Even though the XFX3 is in the rack there. But I don't prescribe to any one religion there. So it's a bit flabbergasting to see these bubbles attack each other. Because again, they don't talk about the same thing. You know, the metal guys talking to the boomers, or the Polyphia dudes calling the boomers boomer band. We live in different worlds. And we very little much have, we have very little crossover anymore, because everyone's in their own bubble and very quickly will attack the other bubble without hearing them out, without having sat down. I mean, I get so much hate from people that I'm an asshole and I'm arrogant and trust fund boy, which I don't have a trust fund. Oftentimes, I say, you call me a paid shill? Why don't you come and sit down with me? Let's have coffee. Watch me a day or two. Watch me work. Watch me talk to companies. Watch me turn companies down because I'm saying this stuff isn't good, can't do it. Or you have religious or, not religious, but you have ethical dilemmas in your company that I cannot support. Some of them might be religious. Or I tested your thing and I don't think it's very good. Or I would like to make the video, but I would actually like to say these things in the video because I think that needs to be said and you can't really put words in my mouth. Or how I pick fights with companies I've worked with for many, many years. You would see all that if you were here, but you're not. You're in your own bubble and I'm in my bubble. And I'm saying, but I'm not a paid shill, or whatever you want to throw at me. But you only know your side of the story. Or when people say, hey, practice guitar, or you should take some lessons. I've taken lessons for a couple of $100,000. I have a summa cum laude from Berklee College of Music in contemporary writing and production and EPD, electronic production and design. I have taken guitar courses from some of the best at Berklee. I'm not a phenomenal guitar player, but let's just say I've taken some music lessons in my life. But that's people speaking from their bubble. They see one thing, they see one video, 2 videos, 3 videos, and they're like, oh, guy doesn't know how to bend, take some lessons. What the fuck? Where are we? Fucking Google me. Or Google anyone before you throw insults at them. We don't share realities anymore. That's broken down, it's breaking down. Breaking it, that's broken down. And this word we should really carry around with ourselves before we start a fight or insult or anything with anyone. The breakdown of shared reality. Anyone you talk to sees the world very differently. Now, I watch The Daily Show, Kimmel and Colbert in the morning. That's my news. It's the only way I can stomach American news. And I sat down with another YouTuber, good guy, love the guy, and we had a burger, and I said, I'm not going to NAMM for reasons. And we talked about it, and he had not heard of many of the things I had heard of. Because apparently these things are maybe communicated in German television or German social media, but not the same way. He knows shit's going down and it's stupid, but not the same way. And so I told him a couple of things that I had learned. And his mind was blown. He's like, what? That's what's going on? Well, again, the reality he now has is my reality. But we don't have the trusted one set of news that we all have to watch, or that we all watch because it was the only thing. We now have news from here, we have news from here, we have news from here. We have AI, we have social media, we've got all these bubbles bombarding us. And which one is real? Who knows? Which one is the more trusted source? Who knows? But then we start talking to each other and we talk about different things. Just take that into account before you troll on the internet, before you are an ass about something. Take into account you don't know the people, you don't know if it's real, you don't know what actually is happening. And those people making statements have completely different information than you do. Let's just be civil, let's be nice. Let's try to bring kindness back into this. That's all I can say. I most certainly try, not always successful, I'm a human being, but we can most certainly try. That was the sermon for the day. My course is out, gitarrenlehreronline.de. You can go there, check it out. I'm very proud of it because it's complex stuff explained in a hopefully simple way, making you a more versatile and skilled guitar player. It's in German though, so if German's your thing, check it out. I'm pretty sure it's going to help you. And we're going to put animals at the end as always.